just this afternoon, we landed a $12,000 per year client. And it was a fun conversation. As you may know, I have worked with and talked to thousands of web designers. I'm Lee Blue, I'm the founder of DoubleStack, and for the past 8 years, I've been personally mentoring some of today's top earning web designers, and I have spoken to thousands of other people, and I think I've put my finger on the number one cause of a low revenue in your business. In fact, like once you see this bottleneck and kind of unlock the myth and like you see the truth for what it is, radical increase in your revenue, like more than double, like 4x, 10x your revenue, simply by realizing one thing, which is it's easier to sell expensive stuff and harder to sell cheap stuff. If anything, they're equally as hard. Like I'm not saying that selling expensive stuff is easy. I'm just saying it's not harder than selling cheap stuff. It might be a little bit easier because you have a system in place that's repeatable, and we'll get into some of the details of why I think it's a little bit easier. It's still hard to do either one. I'm not trying to say that I've got this get rich quick, easy, like everybody makes $1 million kind of thing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's hard work to do either one. Running a business, making a lot of money, no matter what you do, I think it's probably pretty hard. Like I have yet to unpack the easy button for making a lot of money. However, I don't think selling expensive stuff is harder. In fact, I think it's a little easier than selling cheap stuff. Like here's an analogy. Imagine you've got like two cranks. You've got like the cheap crank and you've got the expensive crank. And so like I'm talking about the difference between like $1,000 to $2,000 websites that you're cranking out with this cheap crank and like $10,000 to $20,000 clients out of the expensive crank. I'm not talking about like radically raising your price to $1 million and pricing yourself out of the market and nobody can even afford your stuff and like your price is just inaccessible to your audience. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we work in DoubleStack, we target clients that generally pay you $10,000 to $20,000 per year. The cheapest thing that we offer is $5,000 per year. Our average client's around 10. Like about 5 hours ago, like earlier today, Micah, my son, he and I, like I'm kind of bringing him through DoubleStack. And literally just this afternoon, we landed a $12,000 per year client. And it was a fun conversation. It was a pretty easy, uplifting, everybody left feeling good. I didn't feel stressed out. No one felt stressed out. It was just a great experience. And we landed a $12,000 client. That's great. Like if you were in DoubleStack, that would mean I mail you this trophy. This is the $10,000 client trophy. I mail this out all the time. And that's why I believe it's easier to sell expensive stuff. So let me unpack a few of these reasons why. In fact, I'm thinking about putting together an entire like sales related series for like how to do local marketing sales. I know that's a little bit outside of what we normally talk about on this channel. If that's something that you're interested in, like the video or subscribe or comment or like do something to let me know that you feel like that would be a helpful series of videos. And I want to start that series with this particular video and just unpack some of these reasons as to why I think it's a great idea to charge a lot more and sell stuff that you believe in. So like when I was first getting into like the marketing side of my agency, I started my agency in 2002, so a long time ago. But when I first started, I wasn't really doing a whole lot of marketing. I was basically doing mostly web application development. Like I was building electronic medical record systems. I built a really in-depth e-learning platform. Then we ran Cart66 for over a decade, and that was like an e-commerce platform for WordPress. So like all of that was like coding. And then when I began to shift over into like more of the marketing world, I didn't really want to do it. Like I didn't really like the marketing world because I felt like it was a little sleazy. Like the word sales was kind of like a bad word to me. But then I realized that it wasn't really the sales that was the problem. It was all the deception and the high pressure and like the sleaziness of it that I didn't like. And like trying to like get people to spend money on stuff that wasn't really like the used car salesman idea where you have this used car that you know is junk, but you get people to buy it anyway and you just run away with the money or whatever. Like I hate that. Like I don't want to do that. And so that made me really want to shy away entirely from sales. But then I realized that it's not the sales that's the problem. It's the sleazy part of it, the high pressure part, the exhausting part. Or like another thing that's really interesting about me too is I'm not a very extroverted person in the sense that like I don't like to just go out and hang out with people all the time. Like I wouldn't consider myself to be shy. Like I play the guitar and then talk at places and stuff. Like I'm not a shy person. I just don't like all the small talk and all the schmoozing or whatever. Like I don't like that. It tires me out. It's an energy drain on me. I don't like it. And therefore I thought, well, you have to be all extroverted and a people person to be good at sales, right? It's like, no, you don't have to do that. Let me give you a couple of examples. First of all, have you ever bought anything that you like? Like, I just bought this guitar a couple of days ago. Well, I just got it a couple of days ago. I bought it like a month ago, but it just arrived a few days ago, and I love that guitar. It's probably one of the best sounding guitars I've got. I like it more than the value of what I spent for it. So like, I'm really happy about it. The person that I bought it from is probably happy that they sold it to me because now they're making money at their business. Like, everything about that transaction was great. They're happy, I'm happy, everything's great. It's not that sales is the problem. It's the deceptive part of it that's the problem, right? Like, that's the part I didn't like. And that's like, so when we go back to that expensive crank we were talking about, part of what makes that crank work and is repeatable is the fact that it's fun, that it's uplifting. And the part that makes the cheap crank not work is like, it's really hard to sell cheap stuff. Like, for example, if you're selling something that's cheap, how do you differentiate yourself from other people selling the same cheap stuff? Do you even believe in what you're offering? Like, do you believe that what you're selling to people is actually going to make a big difference for them? Like, how do you have enough time to put into their project to make sure that they're getting results if they're not paying you enough to put the time in to make sure they're getting the results? You see what I'm saying? It's like, those are major issues with cheap stuff. I have this friend, Randy. This is so funny. So one of the earlier jobs that I have, I met my friend Randy. We're still friends to this day. We've been friends for like 20 years. And he got me into buying like Mac products, like Apple products and everything. And I always was telling him, man, everything you're buying is more expensive than like the Windows version or the Linux version. I used to buy Windows PCs and install Linux on it and everything. And it was significantly cheaper than buying all the Mac stuff. And I remember one time he said, Lee, cheap stuff is cheap because it sucks. It's always breaking and whatever. And like, that is stuck with me all of these years, which is true. It's like, if it's cheap, it's not going to solve a big problem, right? Like if you're selling something to somebody that's cheap, they're not thinking it's going to change their lives and solve these major problems. And that's why it's cheap. That's why they don't want to spend money on it, right? That's a huge problem. And so even more, it's like, okay, let's say you're reaching out and you're trying to sell cheap, like $1,000 websites to people. And I'm reaching out selling $10,000 like marketing projects to people. If I want to make $10,000, I only need to close one sale. If I were selling the $1,000 website, I'd have to close 10. So I feel like that's 10 times harder to do. It's probably more than 10 times harder to do, because not only do I have to close 10 times more sales, the conversion rate on the cheap sales process is lower because people aren't feeling like it's really going to solve a huge problem for them. And so they're less likely to say yes, which is why I think selling more expensive stuff within reason, like we just talked about, is actually easier than selling the cheap stuff. Because if it's expensive, you'll believe in it. Like, one of the things that I think is so awesome about what we're doing in DoubleStack right now is we have this system, this repeatable marketing system. We call it the Local Authority Blueprint, or LAB. We call it the LAB for short. And it's a system that combines your client's Google business profile, their website, their Facebook page, and basically email marketing, where you like build the client's email list for either lead nurturing or customer loyalty or both. Like, if you install that system for your client, it will change their lives. Like, just a few minutes ago, my son is in DoubleStack right now, and we just landed a $12,000 client like 5 hours ago. And it was a fun conversation. I'm excited. It's going to be great because we're working with this lady. She sells these custom cabinets and everything, and they're awesome. She does a great job. She's a great person to work with, but she just got this new location, and she's basically barely getting any clients because nobody knows she's there yet and everything. And like, when you search for her, she doesn't show up. And like, I know I can fix that. We fix that all the time. So like, to be able to connect with someone like her and fix that problem for her is so fun. It's such a great thing to be able to reach out and help somebody at that level. But if I was selling cheap stuff, I can't do it. I can't do it for $1,000. Like, or whatever. It's like, you don't have the time to put into the project to make that big of a difference if it's cheap, which is a huge problem. So like, another thing too, that I think is that, like, I don't want to go too long on this video. So let me kind of wrap it up with this. One of the things that I think is really exhausting about the way most people do like sales calls is it feels like you have to teach the other person, like you have to teach the customer or your client, like all the technical details of what you're trying to offer them. And it's such a mistake, because you might be tempted to, like, in your mind, like, you'll look at their website and all the stuff they're doing online, and like you and me, if we looked at that together, we would both immediately realize that most local businesses are basically doing everything terribly. Like, they have almost nothing going for them. And we have this big laundry list of like technical things that they can improve with their website, with their Google profile, with how they're doing SEO, like everything. Like you and I would come up with dozens of different things that the client could be doing better. And so then we would think, okay, well, we've sort of done a site audit or an SEO audit. We've got this big list of things. And then when you get into this, like the sales call, and we're actually talking to the client, it's tempting to begin to like unpack the details of all the things that you figured out and start like giving out like tips, like, hey, if you added this profile or this category to your Google business profile, that would help you show up a little bit more. Or like if you added this content to your site or changed this headline or something like that, you begin to like give away some of the little tips that we've discovered before the call. And the problem with that is the client that you're talking to doesn't really know anything about like what we're talking about. Like you and I, like if we were out at lunch together, we could like talk about this stuff and like really nerd out on it and it'd be fun. And we would be on the same page. But when you're talking to someone who like builds cabinets or like does something that's not online marketing, they don't really know the details. And so what they're going to be thinking is, if like when you begin to say, well, here are all the technical things that we do for you, one of two things might happen. One thing will be they'll hear you say some stuff like Google Business Profile, but they won't understand the intricate details that we put into it. They're going to be thinking, oh yeah, I set up a Google Business Profile. I'm already doing that. And so they're going to hear what you're saying and think, I'm already doing that. And the analogy is like, it's like they're looking at the top of the iceberg, right? And so they're thinking their ice cube is the same thing as our iceberg because they're only looking at the top. They don't see everything below the surface. And so they're thinking, oh yeah, I'm already doing that. I don't need your help. I'm already doing that. Or maybe these two things can happen simultaneously. Sometimes they'll think, oh, I'm almost doing that. I just need that little extra tip that you just gave me, and then I will be doing everything that you just said. So thanks for the tip. This is a great call. You're so smart. You're so great at this. I'm so glad we had this chance to talk. Now I have the tip that I needed. And so like I have everything that I need, and I don't need you at all, right? So that's the opposite of what we want. Because the truth is that what they're doing is basically nothing, and what we're offering is the big thing. And so instead of talking about the technical details and the little tips and the little hints, and maybe if you made this change, instead of doing that, I don't do that at all. I talk about the outcomes. And I'd say to people, do you feel like you're showing up when people are searching for you? Like, are you showing up for the clients that are looking for you now, the ones that are ready to buy? Like if I went online right now, would you be in the map pack for the different phrases that you're trying to rank for? And they'll be like, yeah, I'm not showing up. That's a huge problem for me. I'm not doing that. Well, what about the people that land on your website? They're interested, but they don't call you yet. They don't book a call or buy anything. And so they just sort of leave the website, but they're still interested. Are you doing anything to nurture those leads back into calls? Like, are you like doing anything, or are you just sort of like holding your breath and hoping they come back? It's like, I don't even know how to do that. How do you nurture leads? Like, I'm not doing anything like that. Well, what about like customer loyalty? Like, are you tapping into your current client base and trying to get them to come back and like buy more stuff or anything like that? Like, you know, boosting your customer. I don't know how to do that. I don't know anything about that. So do you see what I just did? I just listed like 3 major ways that, probably the only 3 ways that a local business is going to make more money. Either people buy now, they buy later, or they buy again. And so I'm saying, like, do you feel like those things are happening for you at the level that you want? And most people that you talk to are going to say, no, I am not doing any of those things. And so consequently, the conclusion is they do nothing, we have everything, right? Like if you do it the way I just described, they need to work with you because they're doing none of it. It's like 0 to everything in favor of you. Whereas if you just do like the little technical tips, it's the opposite of that. It's like, oh, you just gave me all these tips, now I have everything and I don't need you anymore. Do you see the difference? And the beauty of it is you don't have to like in-depth explain all the technical details. The conversation is really fast. I mean, I just did those 3 things in like 2 minutes, not like an hour. And so it's so much easier. It doesn't drain my energy. It's not exhausting. The other client, the client on the other side, they don't feel like they're drinking from this fire hose or whatever. They're just realizing that they're not doing anything. Like everything they have kind of stinks, which probably is true. Like most local businesses have really bad online marketing. And then you can come in and crush it, right? Like you can give them all of the stuff. It's like a black and white difference. It's like an all or nothing difference, but it falls back on, you need to be able to make enough revenue out of that so you can actually implement those 3 revenue engines for them. It's like, I don't know what to say more than that. It's like, I just feel like that's such a game-changing concept that sales doesn't have to be sleazy. These conversations don't have to be exhausting. You don't have to like teach clients every single thing in your offer. It's just you get a lot more sales at a lot higher rates with much more revenue coming in that way. So like, let me leave you a couple things. If this is something that you're interested in learning, one of the things that I do in DoubleStack is I personally walk you through the whole sales process. I just updated the DoubleStack website. Check it out and just go to doublestack.net. You'll see the whole thing. And if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. We can work together. There's one more thing though, which is I feel like people are like local businesses are doing social media in a really awkward and ineffective way. And so instead of doing what I would, in fact, I just mentioned that the client that Mike and I just got, one of the complaints that the client I was just talking to had was that she had hired somebody to do social media and they were posting on Facebook and stuff, and she was spending all this money, no clicks, no clients, just money. And I was like, well, yeah, I don't think that's a great idea. In fact, I think that's kind of stupid. That doesn't really work. And then she said, oh, wow, you guys are operating on an entirely different level here. And I was like, yes, we've been doing this for over 20 years. I've been coaching thousands of web designers on how to do this stuff. I know this stuff that works. And that's why it's such a blessing to me to be able to reach out to people like the lady that just onboarded as a client and help, because I know that it's going to be so much better for her if she would just quit doing social media and start doing some better organic marketing. So I put together a video, so check out this video over here on the other thing that is better than social media that's actually worth probably $6,000 or more per year. And if you want to check out the stuff about DoubleStack, how I can help you with the sales call, I'll put a link for that right up here. All right, I'll see you soon.